Oh shit. You know what the going on. What's going on, my good people? This your boy Light Up the Entertainer, here to bring you some action between Mississippi Valley and Alabama State University. This is going to be an interesting band battle between both of these bands. I do not know what to expect from either band organization. One thing I would say as well is that this is my opinion, so don't get butthurt about my opinion, okay? There was no halftime footage. They had halftime footage for Alabama State, but there was no halftime footage from Mississippi Valley. I don't know why that was a thing in this. I searched long and hard for it. Could not find anything related to this battle at all for them as far as a field show. So I'm definitely disappointed in that as far as that. I think this is one of their last battles that they had for the season, okay? And we're going to end their season off with this as well, okay? So this will be their official record after this battle, okay? I know they don't have the best record, but hey, sometimes bands got to lose for them to get better. And somebody has to be honest, and this is just my fair take on the battle, okay? Some people get butthurt when they see that record. They be like, damn, like, bub, you know, you could have gave them some grace. I mean, look, y'all collegiate band at the end of the day. And one of the things I say, and they kind of got an advantage in this battle, is because we're not even great in halftime. We're not even great in halftime. So they coming in with an initial advantage in this battle. So hopefully they can get a dub. I mean, because this is one of their strong suits, you know. But, you know, they are going against a super heavyweight. Alabama State don't play. I'm going to say it again. Alabama State don't play. If you can knock off Alabama State, that says a lot. That says a lot about your band. If you can knock out Alabama State, that says a lot about your band. That's a super heavyweight, fam. You got to come with that pressure. Now, I'm going to say this as well. This battle is a short battle. I don't know why it's like that, but it's a very short battle. 0 quarters are short. 5th quarter was short. So I don't know what to expect, but I'm hoping that they can get that issue out and they both sound good. Because, I mean, if it's a tie, it's a tie. If one gets the advantage of the other one, one's going to get a loss. So, you know, with that being said, look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. For 0 quarter, we're grading sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, overall cleanness. Maximum points they can make in 0 quarter is 45. In 0 quarter, bands use to play spirit songs. When bands play spirit songs, that ties into their school, that can kind of affect their record. But they can replace it depending if a band is ahead in responses. But that definitely depends. You know, spirit songs, it's not something that they want to play. It's just something that they have to play because it's a traditional thing. So, you know, sometimes, you know, I give you a good example. Southern likes to play second line stuff. They like to play Do What You Wanna, etc. You know, and it's also a spirit song is a song that they play for many years. It might not even be a song tied into the school, but they just play it because that's just a good song to play. You get what I'm saying? So, Talk It Out the Side of Your Neck is considered a spirit song in a sense for every HBCU band. So you kind of get what I'm getting at if y'all confused on that. So with that being said, I'm going to shut up. We're gonna get into this battle. Alrighty. Shout out to A1 Media for getting this battle. Valid. Alright, let's get that a grade. Was not a big fan of that ending, but I'm going to let them slide on that one. Sound selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give them, I lied. Sound selections 5, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give them a 10. Alrighty, they got them a 45. Alright, look, I'm going to say this. They got a perfect. I got to give them a perfect. They just can't mess up at the end like they did. You know what I'm saying? If they would have kept missing like that, then yeah, I probably would have docked off. I ain't even gonna lie. Even if you get to the end of the song, you gotta still play clean. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty, moving on.
And the entire staff at the Sports Authority.
Alright, let's go.
Alabama Power. Bishop State Community College. Jack Daniels, Hughes Portables, Spire, Coca-Cola, ACLU of Alabama. Spire, your natural gas provider, is proud to support Ford City Classic. When we use our energy for good, we can achieve more. Coca-Cola, Ford City Classic fans and an ice cream. Now that's a win.
If somebody don't know that music.
Again, thank you for supporting the 3rd annual Ford City Classic.
Alrighty, let's get that a grade. So, sound selection, I'm going to give them a 5. Powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give them a 9. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. There's some parts that can be sprucing up with the high brass, okay? There's definitely some other parts going on as far as missing, but it's not too bad. I just feel like if they tighten up on the small things, it's good. I can also tell somebody who didn't know the music. You get that close up and you see somebody just holding a horn, that says a lot. Alright, moving on.
The Alabama State University Foundation and Sergeant First Class Carlos Richardson representing the courage, commitment, and service of the United States Armed Forces. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in showing your gratitude for today's distinguished guests and for all who serve our nation. And from Mississippi Valley State Devils, we have Marco Joseph for the 3rd and Brandon Davis.
let's get Alabama State's Spirit Song out the way. Song selections of 4 by default. Powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm give them a 10. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect by default. By default. Okay? Valley is about to play their Spirit Song. Or currently playing the Spirit Song. Let's get that a grade. Not bad. I'm expecting it to sound clean because it's a Spirit Song. Song selections of 4. Powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give them a 10. By default, they got almost a perfect. 44. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect by default. Moving on. It's my shit. Give that shit a Ric Flair moment. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh man, that was nice. Now I would say this, giving this a little minor critique. I would say this. At first, when they came in, trumpets kind of came in just a little out of tune, but they shook back real quick. They shook back real quick. They shook back real quick. That was not bad for Alabama State. They gotta give them a pin for that. That's something on my list, bro. That's something I would, if I was to write something for a band, that's what I would give them. You know what I'm saying? Just for a quick call out, hell yeah. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Moving on. Moving on. Sound selection is a 5. Power, I'm going to give them a 10. Articulations, 10. Arrangement is a 10. Cleanness, I'm going to give them a 9. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. It's right there. High brass. High brass. Trumpets. You know, it's really the trumpets. They got to open up more, man. There's some parts in there that can be good. Now, I want to say this. You know, if I would have replaced this, it would be the same score. So I can't replace that score. They got to have a stronger score for them to replace that Spirit song. Even though Valley's ahead, they got to have a stronger score to replace that Spirit song. They haven't done that yet. Moving on. Like Alabama State's going to close this out. That's a good way to end it. That's a good way to end it. Yeah. Yeah, and it went Super Saiyan in this thing, fam. Okay, Alabama State. Oh, shit. Alright, sound selections 5, power is 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness, I'm going to give them a 10. They got them a 45. Alrighty. I seen what I needed to see in this battle right here, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty. So, yeah. Alright, current standings. Right now, as we speak, Alabama State is up by 1 point. Alabama State is up by 1 point in 0 quarter, ladies and gentlemen. In 0 quarter. Very short 0 quarter, but Alabama State is up by 1 in my grading scale. Okay? So, one thing I would say as well is that, ladies and gentlemen, we traded into 5th quarter territory. Do not get in your feelings about these grades. It's all love here at the end of the day, okay? Some people be quick to say, oh my gosh, I'm not happy with the results. I'm sorry if you don't like the results. I ain't intentionally doing it on purpose to get you upset, okay? I ain't intentionally doing it on purpose. Alrighty. So, I do not know what to expect from this battle, but, we got to give the grades, so, it is what it is. So, with that being said, look to the cards next to me so you know we'll be grading. We're grading sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, overall cleanness. Maximum points they can make all together is 50. There's some similarities from 0 quarter, but the only thing that's different from this is that you got 5 extra points because this is 5th quarter. And also, there's no Spirit songs in 5th quarter. If they pull something out from the Spirit song tier list in 5th quarter, I would dock them off significantly. So I don't think that's the case, especially with this being close to the end of the year. Okay? So I'm really expecting big things from both bands. Mississippi Valley got to come with that heat in order for them to overcome Alabama State. And Alabama State is going to have to mess up in order for Valley to capitalize. Alright? So, I do not know what to expect, but I'm expecting good things from both bands. So, with that being said, let's get into the action. ASU first. Alright, let's get at a grade. Song selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangement 10. Cleanness, I'm gonna give them a 10. Gotta get more perfect. Now I'm gonna give one minor critique. Somebody did sneak in at the end, close to that ending. Somebody did sneak in. So I'm not gonna say I didn't hear that. Somebody did sneak in at the end. They need to tighten that up a little bit more. Can't anticipate it. You gotta watch the director. But yeah. But it was still good. It was still a good. Still good. Moving on. Okay, Valley. Okay, Valley. Okay, Valley. Ooh. Okay, Valley, yeah. Oh shit, that was nice. That shit was nice, fam. That shit was nice. Okay, Valley. They came with that oomph, fam. They came with that oomph. I ain't mad at them at all for that. That was a nice response from Valley. Very, very nice. Moving on. Whew. Alabama State, ladies and gentlemen. Alabama State, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Whew. Boy. It's just something about when they get going, bruh. It's something about when they get going, bruh. That's all I gotta say. Ooh, man. And they went Super Saiyan in this thing, fam. Damn. Yeah, they're putting in that work. They putting in that work. Moving on. Bring it back. They brought it back. Alabama State, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Valley. Valid with that power, bruh. Valid with that power. Alright. Sun selections 10, powers 10, articulations 10, arrangements 10, cleanness is a 9. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. They're high brass. Trumpets. Y'all gotta get those notes together, bruh. It's like, just because you play loud in the register does not mean it sound good. You know, you got to, if you're gonna scream, you got to do it in a certain way for it to carry. You know, sometimes it just don't do good. Some people just not built for screaming. Me personally, I mean, you can have screamers every now and then, but sometimes I feel like some people are not built for screaming, being a screamer. You know, just be real with you. You know, you got to be groomed to become a screamer. Like, you know, you can't just hop into the fray and think that you're going to get it. No. You can't always take that shit up. You can't always take that shit up. Moving on. Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. They went Super Saiyan Blue God of this thing, bro. Oh, shit. That run was, oh my goodness, that run was crucial. Oh, that run was crucial. That's ball game, fam. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, bruh. That's all they needed to play. Valley got 2 responses. Valley's gonna close us out. But damn. Lord have mercy. Super Saiyan Blue guy, bruh. Moving on. Okay, Valley. Woo! Yeah, Valley. Alrighty, let's get that a grade. Not bad, Valley. Not bad at all, Valley. That was good. That was real good. That was real good, Valley. Very, very strong piece from them. Felt like they could have brought that earlier, too. Brought that out a little earlier, but, Alabama State had to leave early, so I'm not mad at them. Alrighty, man. Finish us off strong, Valley. Finish us off strong.
Boo! Song wasn't even done. Hey, don't worry. It'll be. Ain't y'all from It'll be? They'll see y'all in a little bit. Yeah, that wasn't good. That was lame. You look like a Newport with green on. You look like a Newport carton box. What are you talking about? What is he talking about? He said we look like a Newport, but he got the green on.
Okay, Valley. Okay, Valley. Yeah. They went Super Saiyan in this thing, fam. Okay, Valley. I ain't mad at you, Valley. I'm not mad at you at all for that one, Valley. That was nice. Not mad at all, Valley. That was nice. Definitely was a nice ending. Good way to end it. Good way to end a battle, man. That's not bad at all. Alrighty, man. So, who won this battle, ladies and gentlemen? Let me give y'all a recap of the battle, okay? There was no halftime footage. Okay, no halftime footage, but 0 quarter. Alabama State was up by 1 point, counted 1 point. Now, when we get to 5th quarter, Alabama State was up by 1 point. So, with that being said, it's a 2-point difference. Alabama State won this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Very tight battle because it was a short battle for both. Okay, I would say this: Mississippi Valley definitely put up a fight. They definitely did put up a fight in this battle, okay? I wish I could have seen halftime footage, but I would say Valley definitely strong suit is in the stands, okay? And that was the tell of the tape for them. So Even though Alabama State got this dub, you know, I got to say this to Valley, you know, this was definitely a rough season for Valley. Definitely was a rough season for Valley. And it's not me saying that I don't appreciate Valley or their musicianship or nothing like that. They played some complicated pieces this year. You know, they definitely did. You know, I would just say that Alabama State was just a stronger band than them in this battle. Okay, they was. Alabama State was consistent from start to finish. They was consistent. That's a hard band to knock off. Alabama State, that's a hard band to knock off. Okay? For real, for real. That's a hard band. For y'all to go toe-to-toe with them and make it as close as it can be, I'm not mad at it. Okay? I'm not mad at that. That's a good way to go out on y'all last battle of the year. Okay? It's a good way to go out. Okay? I wish I could have hung a little bit longer in the battle. Alabama State could have hung a little bit longer in the battle, but you know, hey, it is what it is. All right. So this is Mississippi Valley's official record for the season. Okay, like I was saying earlier, they had a rough season. Definitely had a rough season. One thing I would say about their season is that what hurt Valley the most this year was their halftime performances. I feel like their halftime performances could have carried them this year. I got onto them last year in 2024 about this. This year I've seen some significant improvement, but it's not there. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. They're still going to have to really work on that. Okay? Don't get mad. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just it is what it is. Okay? But yes, they did not receive a dub at all this season. You know, they did not receive a dub at all this season, but that's okay. That's okay. I had a band that I graded. They didn't receive a dub from me. You know, so don't feel bad, Valley. Y'all won't be the only band I will come down hard on. Okay? I think the reason why I'm also hard on y'all as well is because I know what y'all true potential can be. Okay? And so it definitely relies on y'all putting that work in on that field. That field will make a difference out of y'all. Also, I would say that high brass is definitely a thing. Okay? I would strongly recommend that the high brass, especially, I'm talking about French horns too, and y'all get together and y'all really have sectionals after band or whatever y'all have to do. Okay? Because either they have to pull back on those arrangements some, or y'all going to have to get tighter. Y'all going to have to practice a little bit more. Okay? So that's another thing I would say that was kind of an issue. Now, granted, this is one of the cleanest I've heard them this season. One of the battles I heard that they was actually fairly clean. But I can rewind a couple battles and you can understand what I'm getting at. Okay? So that's my honest fair take on this. Okay? Again, that's not me bashing the band organization. Please don't do that. It's not me bashing the band organization. This is coming from, the heart. Okay? And I feel like, y'all got to have something and honesty for y'all to work on. Okay? That's just me. That's me personally in a nutshell how I feel about Valley this year. Okay? But that's my verdict. Alabama State won this one. That's Mississippi Valley's official record. I'm finna get up out of here, man. Also, I would like to give a special shout out to my channel member. Thank you so much for being a part of this family. It means so much to me. Okay? It means so much to me. Alrighty? So, with that being said, deuces.